As we get deeper into persuasive speaking, we need to look at how we're going to set up our main points and the pattern of organizations that we can use. They are different than the informative speaking patterns organization. Some of them are anyway. We'll get into a little bit more detail here. First of all, I want to discuss Monroe's motivating sequence. And before I get into it too much, this is always given in persuasive speaking. Yet, I do not feel, and you will read this many times over from people who have taught it as well as experts, that it is not a very easy or provable way. So, although it is always given as an option for persuasive speaking, I do not suggest that you do it. The book does go into a little bit more detail. There's plenty of examples online. It's actually based on Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And when I did teach an advanced persuasive speaking class of 400 level, I did go into this. I did allow the students to do this type of organizational pattern. For a 100 level, I would advise you to stay away from it and stick with the few that I have coming up. So the easiest one to use is problem solution. This one we have two main points. So here's an example of a specific purpose and the central idea, both of which need to go at the top of your outline. To persuade my audience that the U.S. Congress should pass legislation that will reduce lead levels in the nation's water supply. Again, appealing to that most basic level in Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Central idea. Because lead in the water supply is a serious problem in the United States, Congress should solve the problem by passing legislation reducing lead levels in our water. First main point here. Again, two main points. First main point is going to be all the problems. Lead in our nation's water supply is a serious problem. We talk about those different problems. First problem. Use those language devices that we discussed. Second problem. Third problem. Transition. Now that we've discussed the problem, let's move on to the solutions. So main point number 2 there is solving the problems requires actions by the federal government. The first way to help solve, the second way to help solve. Maybe you have a third way. So here's a great example of a problem solution order. Again, two main points. If you feel the need, you could pop into the problem cause solution. Here you would have three main points. Same setup. The next setup we can use is statement of reasons. This will have reasons why we should support whatever your topic or your claim is, what you want your audience to do or think. So we could have 3 or 4 reasons. Typically always a minimum of 3 up to 4. So we'll start with the second most important reason first and the most important reason last, with the other reasons falling in between. That's the basic setup of this. So again, still 2 to 4 main points. Here's an example again of the specific purpose and central idea. To persuade my audience that an earthquake of 9.0 on the Richter scale will hit California in the next 10 years. Central idea. There are 3 good reasons to believe that an earthquake of 9.0 or above on the Richter scale will hit California in the next 10 years. First main point, California is long overdue for a major earthquake. Second main point, many geological signs indicate that a major earthquake may happen soon. Third main point, experts agree that an earthquake of 9.0 or above could strike California any day. And then the last one is comparative advantage. Here we'll have up to 4 advantages, still keeping at 2 to 4 main points. And we want to discuss these and directly side by side compare why your proposal or what you're saying is superior. This typically is within a product. Maybe you're comparing products. I had a student who compared coolers, and he compared 3 aspects of 3 different coolers. Maybe it's a policy, an idea. An example of a specific purpose and central idea. To persuade my audience that our city should build a rapid bus system instead of a new highway. The central idea: a rapid bus system will be cheaper and more effective than a new highway. The two main points then: research models show that we will save $1 million if we build a rapid bus system instead of a new highway. That second main point, with all of the supporting material, research models also show that a rapid bus system will reduce traffic congestion more than a new highway. So, again, setting your main points up in one of those three main ways will help guide your speech. Some other things to keep in mind as you're doing your research. Make sure it's accurate. Keep in mind if it sounds too good to be true, it may be. Watch those trick words: up to, almost, nearly. If we go to more of our primary source, we'll never see those words. Those words come into play. Those vague words come into play when we get to our secondary sources. Not that we can't use them, we just need to evaluate them better. Make sure our sources are current, up to 5 years old, unless you're dealing from a historical perspective where it does not change. Make sure it's complete, not just a vague statement. From a trustworthy source. Who sponsored it? Who wrote it? Who funded it? And is it suitable for your topic? Is it helping claim and support that central idea? Moving on to the preparation outline. Same as we did for all of the other outlines. Your topic, your specific purpose and central idea need to be at the top. Note your proper organizational pattern. You'll use full sentences where you deal with one issue at a time. After body is complete, go and develop your introduction and conclusion. Finish those off. Look at that clean outline format. Clean it up. Look at the indentation. Make sure your main points are balanced with supporting material and all of the citations for that supporting material. And don't forget about those formal links and that formal citation at the end.